In today's class, let us write a C program. Okay, C program to check whether entered character, let me be more precise, entered alphabet is vowel or consonant. Okay. Now, what is the program statement here? We need to ask user to enter an alphabet. Okay, it's alphabet only. We are going to enter only alphabet. We will not look into any other type of characters like digits, special characters and all. Only alphabets. Now, it could be lowercase alphabet or it could be even uppercase alphabet also. Okay. Now, if that alphabet is an vowel, then display it message to be as vowel. Otherwise, display a message to be as consonant. Okay. So let us try to solve this particular problem by writing a switch case statements. Okay. So int main open corresponding close brackets and then let's write the return 0. Okay. Now, how many variables are required and what will be the data types of each of the variables? One is the input, right? Wherein we'll ask user to enter the alphabet. So alphabet means what type of data type should we choose here? Is it
character data?
character? Yes, very good. We need to choose character. Let us say, let me call it as alpha. Okay, let me call it as character alpha. Okay, then any other variables do we require here? Okay, as of now, let us go with the only one variable which we have taken. Now, next, what should be the statement? We have to ask user to enter the corresponding letter, alphabet, right? So let us write a printf statement, printf, enter an alphabet. Okay, then read that particular alphabet, scanf, percentage. What is the format specifier should use here? C, percentage.
Percentage C.
Then we ampersand alpha.
And C.
Alpha, ampersand alpha. Now we need to construct our switch cases. Okay, switch and then corresponding the cases. Now tell me what will be the expression for the switch here? We have studied theoretically that the switch, the expression, it can be of an integer data or it can be even the character data also, right? So
Alpha.
This particular program,
Alpha, sir.
The variable of the type character. So character is acceptable in the expression, right? So you said it's correctly. That is, we need to use an alpha here. So alpha means here the whatever alphabet we have entered, right? That we are going to take it as the switch expression. Okay, then accordingly we need to construct our cases. Now here, should we go with the case 1 how we did earlier, or should we use something different as the label value? What should happen here?
Something different.
Something different, isn't it? Now here the expression value is going to be what? The characters, right? The data type which belongs to a character type. Alphabets, it could be A, B, C, D up to Z, lowercase or a uppercase, any one character we are going to enter. So that corresponding value we need to match with the label of the cases. So I cannot have here a number here like 1. So if I write a 1, 2, 3, it is not going to match with those things. But instead of this number here, label value also should be of a character type, also should be of a character type of a value. So what will be the character type of value here? Since we are looking as an alphabets, the entered alphabet to be an vowel or a consonant. So if you categorize two parts, vowels and a consonant, we have only how many vowels are there?
5, sir.
5, right? So out of 26, 5 are vowels and the remaining are consonant. So let's try to handle the vowels first, right? Let us try to handle the vowels. So how can I say whether a given character, the alphabet is a vowel or not? If the value is say lowercase a, right? If the value is lowercase a. So if it is a, I know that this is a single character. So this single character I need to place within the single quotes, within a pair of single quotes. Okay, now look at here how different this particular program is. The case labels are not the integers here. These are the characters we are placing. Why we are placing the characters? Because the expression value is going to be a character. So we want to match up with the similar characters. So we have taken a here. Now we know that if this is a, then what it is going to be? The entered, suppose if I have entered a here, expression is a itself. If I have entered a, so that a is going to match with this particular a, then the match will be found. So we need to display message, right? What message we should display? Vowel, right? So correspondingly, what I can do here, I can write a printf statement, say printf vowel, isn't it? Then break. Now, lowercase a vowel we have found out. What about the other vowel? Say case, there will be a as well. So uppercase a colon. Then similarly, I can write the printf statements, right? So I say that it is going to be the vowel. Correct? Now, if it is say case lowercase e, right? Lowercase e is also an vowel. In that case, if that is entered character, I am going to display a message to be a vowel. Now, look at here. We have studied something. When I don't write this break statement, what is going to cause? Suppose if I don't mention this particular break statement, it is going to execute in the same sequence, right? It will first print this statement, then it will go to the next statement, and then there is a break. So it will come out of the switch cases. Now, if you observe keenly, what I did in the three cases, whenever the entered character is an vowel, like a lowercase a, uppercase a, lowercase e, I need to print a common message. I need to print out a common message to be a vowel. So we can be smart here. Instead of writing the printf statement for each of the cases along with the break statement, let us not write anything here. Let us not write anything, but just keep the empty labels itself. Keep the empty labels itself like this way: case a, lowercase a, colon, then case uppercase a, colon. In the same way, let us write the other cases as well. Let me be just do a copy paste. This will be for uppercase e, then next is I, capital I, then lowercase o, then uppercase o, then lowercase u, and then one more uppercase u. Now, so I wrote all the cases. Each of these cases will be, the value will be matching whenever the entered alphabet belongs to or is the vowel, whether it is a lowercase or an uppercase. Then for the last case here, I will mention the printf vowel and then a break. Okay, then suppose if the user has not entered the alphabet, if you would have entered any other alphabets apart from the vowels like a consonant, then I will handle it in the default statement stating to be that printf, it is consonant. Just mention it to be a consonant. Okay, and then correspondingly break we can write, or we can skip for the default. No worries in that. Okay, now look at here. Instead of writing the printf statements and the break statement for all the cases, what we have done, we have skipped it writing. Now, what may cause, let us theoretically first try to understand how this particular program is going to be executed. Suppose if I enter a lowercase a, what may happen? Alphabet, this variable value is a, that a will get matched with the first case value, this label, both match is found, means it will enter into this particular case. Since there are no statements, not even the break statement. So what will happen? It will further proceed in this direction towards downwards, and then it will find unstatement like a printf. What is that? Oval. So it will print out the oval, and then there is a break. Break means it will skip the further execution and it will come out of the switch. Okay, that means the expected result is correct here since I have entered a lowercase a. So a match is found and oval is displayed. Suppose if I enter capital E, what may happen? Case here, match will not found. Here, no, no, and look at here, this particular case, the match will be found. Expression value and the label value are same. So it will enter into this particular case. But again, there are no statements here, right? Not even a break statement. So it will further go in the downward and then it will find a statement, printf statement. So it will display oval and then the break. So it will come out of the switch. Like that, if I enter the alphabets like A to U, or it could be in a lowercase or it could be in a uppercase, because we have handled both of them, lowercase a, uppercase a, lowercase e, uppercase e. Like that, for each of the alphabets, we have handled the lower cases as well as upper cases. Any of these alphabets are entered, it is going to fall into the corresponding case and then execute this printf statement wherein it will display oval and then break. And if I write any other character or alphabets like a D here, what will happen? The case value will not match with respect to all these values. The 10 different cases means it will go into the default value. There is no corresponding match for the expression with respect to the each of the case values. So it will go into the default, and in the default we have a statement to print consonant, right? Okay. Suppose what may happen if I type a number also? If I type a digit, then what is going to happen? It is going to fall into the consonant. Since in this particular program, we are just restricting it to the alphabets only at the time of entering the number user input. So we'll just enter the alphabet only and then we will try to validate. Let us go ahead and try to run the program and check whether it works or not. Okay.
Yeah. Sir, you forgot to terminate the printf statement of default case.
Semicolon, right? Yes, good. Then compile the program. The number is 19 here, 19.switch_vowels.c. Okay, no errors. Enter an alphabet. Say, let me enter alphabet G here. What will happen? Consonant. Let us run once again. Let us enter a lowercase a, vowel. Enter uppercase a, vowel. Enter lowercase e, vowel. Right? Capital E, vowel. Capital U, vowel. Okay. And if you enter any other, now say Z, consonant. Right? So based upon the user input, the alphabets, whenever we are entering, the program is going to handle correctly. Whenever there is an alphabet, it is going to print out the vowel message and then it is going to print the consonant when the entered alphabet is not an alphabet, not an vowel. Right? So now you may find that this particular program is something different than the other switch case statements which we had written earlier. In the previous all statements, for example, let's see here, in each of this one, for each of the cases, we have had the break statement, right, at the end of each of the case blocks. But unlike here, we don't have any break statement for each of these cases because the statements that we want to execute for each of these cases are same. In that case, so we no need to write the break statement. Let us group them together and then just we can have only one corresponding set of statements which will execute. Okay, and then for remaining the default, we can have another set of values. Is this program understood, student? Any difficulties? Any doubts?
No. Yes, sir.
No, sir. No, sir.
Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let us understand one more thing here. As I have explained earlier, the nested else if, right? Let us once again, let us go through the different control statements what we have studied here so far in the branching. First one is a simple if is one-way branching, right? Let's say here, let me put it. Simple if is what? It is one-way branching. Then what about if else?
Two-way branching.
Two-way branching. It is a two-way branching. What about else if ladder?
Multi-way branching.
Multi-way branching. What about nested if?
Multi-way.
Yes, this is also multi-way, right? Then what about this switch also? What about
So
this?
this
Can
is
also
also
be multi-way, sir.
Multi-way.
It is also a multi-way, right? It is also multi-way. That means you may see here, for the multi-way branching, we do have a different type of concepts or the techniques we can use it for. Else if ladder, nested if, and the switch statements. Okay. Most of the time, let me take this particular thing away. Most of the time, the else if ladder and the switch, both the techniques can be interchanged in the sense, suppose if there is a problem and if you want to use a else if, okay, the same problem can even solved using the switch also. Okay, suppose if there is a problem which we have solved using the switch case, the same switch case technique can be changed to the else if in order to solve the problem, right? For example, if you consider this case, this particular problem wherein we are going to enter the alphabets and see, this can be even used in the else if ladder also. Okay, more precisely here we can use even a simple that this is if else also we can use here, because if you look into this branching here, I can broadly I can say there are only two branches. One is vowel, other is consonant. Are you getting my point here? In this particular switch case solution, in this, especially only in this particular case, there are only two branches I can recognize here. One case is when there is an alphabet is an vowel, or if the alphabet is an consonant. Means I can hardly find maximum of two branches here, not more than two branches. This can even be solved using the if else also. It can be solved using if else also. Let us see how we can solve this using if else. Okay, let me take up a new program 20 and let me save the program first. Let me call it to be at 20. This is again for the vowel slide. So if else, dot c. Okay, now hash include. Let me do one thing. Let me just take the entire program from here to this part. Let me take and put it here because I need the same content, and let's have return 0 and then close. Now here I'm going to solve the same problem using the if else here, using the if else. How can I solve? Since I need an if else, so if corresponding statement I need to print here to be print f. Suppose the entered alphabet is an vowel, I need to print it vowel. Okay. Go on mute, students. Those who are unmuted, please mute yourself. Now I'm just locking the meeting so that nobody will be able to join now onwards. Okay, fine. So the if condition I'm going to write, and if that is true, I will print it to be a vowel. If that condition is false, I will print the message to be what? Consonant. Okay, now I need to figure it out the expression for my condition, for the if condition, how I need to find it out. Now I know that I'm going to enter an alphabet and I will store it into the variable alpha. This alpha can be equals to a lowercase a. Since it is an character, I need to place within the single quotes, right? So alpha equals to double equals to, notice it, double equals to alpha double equals to a, it is a vowel, correct? Then I do also know that if this is alpha is double equals to capital A, uppercase A, then also it is going to be a vowel, correct? Then, or if it is alpha is equals to E, then also it is a vowel, right? In all 10 different conditions I will write here, because there are 5 vowels, lowercase 5, uppercase 5 means there will be total 10 conditions I need to write here. Then when there are multiple conditions I need to look for, I need to use one more operator here. What is that operator?
Logical or.
Logical operators. In that logical operators, the OR operator I can use. I can use a logical OR operator. If any one of the condition is true, then the entire condition is going to be true, right? For to use that one, I will use the logical OR operators. So here again, logical OR operator. So next will be what? Here I will use logical OR alpha, right? Equals to uppercase E. Then logical OR alpha equals to logical I. Then alpha, here there should be OR alpha equals to capital I, right? So in this way I'm going to use the different individual conditions to validate A, E, I, O, this for the capital O, okay? Then for U, this is again for U. Now, is the condition, is it correct? Have all the alphabets taken care?
Yes, sir.
Right? Now let us test whether it works correctly or not. Clear?
Sir,
Semicolon did I miss? No, there is no errors. Okay. Done. Enter lowercase a, correct. Uppercase A, correct. Let us check for capital U, that is also correct. Check for F, consonant, correct. Check for R, consonant, correct. Now look at the program here, how it is. The same problem is being solved in 2 different approaches. First one is using the switch case. Second one is using the simple if else here. Since there are only 2 possible ways, so if else has been taken. Which particular concept would be easy? Abhishek, what are you trying to say? Enter 2 vowels. Who is that? Please go on mute. Omkar. Abhishek is telling enter 2 vowels. Now you tell me, Omkar, what may happen? Let us see. Theoretically first understand, then we will jump into practical here, the demonstration. You can unmute Abhishek. Are you there, Abhishek? Abhishek Chaugla, it is 191. Unmute Abhishek. Abhishek, are you there? Unmute and turn on your video. I may have to remove you from the class, Abhishek, if you don't turn on your audio and video. See, the thing is that he is not in the place at home somewhere. He is somewhere else outside, and he is just trying to put in some messages over there. Okay, I'm going to report. He just went out of the class now, since I instructed him to turn on the video and audio. Okay, I'm going to report his name. Any student, if they try to misbehave like this, okay, I'm going to remove them from the class and will be informed to the coordinator and also to your parents. Okay, now who can answer? Suppose if I enter at the time of execution, if I enter 2 characters.
Sir.
Yes.
I got disconnected.
Yes, Abhishek, turn on your
It
video.
will only print only.
First you turn on your video.
Hello. Hello, sir.
Yes, you are audible. Turn on your video. Are you in home? Are you at home?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, you have asked a question. Now you tell me what will happen, what may happen if I enter 2 characters?
It will only take, sir, 1 character, sir.
It will only take 1 character. Suppose if I enter like this,
Okay.
say A and D, which character it will accept?
A.
A,
sir.
A. So in this case, if I enter D and A, what will be, okay, let us tell student, anybody, okay, if I enter A and D, what will be the output? And if I enter in this way, what will be the output? This is first scenario, this is second scenario. Theoretically, who can tell it? What will be the answer?
Vowel and constant.
First case, it will
Consonant,
be vowel,
sorry.
and second case, it will be consonant.
Constant.
Constant.
Right?
Is
Okay. Any other opinions? Okay, let us check it out now. Okay.
both.
Let me comment these lines. Okay. Go to the terminal. Clear. I don't think so I have modified anything, but let us compile anyway. Okay. So A and D, vowel. Then next D and A, consonant. Now we are entering multiple characters here, right? But the variable which we have declared in the program is of a character. Character means what? Only a single letter, a single keystroke which we use on the keyboard. But here, unfortunately, we ended up in typing 2 or more. Suppose if I can do in this way also, like A, S, D, F, G, H, K, something I can enter, but it is going to show me the vowel only. Why? Because even I have entered multiple characters here, since the variable which I have declared is capable of storing only one among these. It is capable of storing only one among these. Which one is that? That is the first letter which I type. The first character which I type here. The first character typed here is A. So A is going to be stored. Even I have entered these many characters, it is going to store only the A. Since it has stored A, the A is an vowel here. So it will print out the message to be vowel. Suppose if I type something like this, okay, it is going to display a consonant. Why consonant? Out of all these characters, the variable is going to store only S, right? And this S value will be compared, since S is a consonant, so it is going to print out the consonant message. Okay, now is that understood theoretically as well as practically? what is going to happen when we enter multiple characters, that is more than one characters for the character type of a data. It is going to store the first character only. Okay, followed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, suppose if I want to modify this particular program here, let us say in this switch case, I have suggested to enter only alphabet, but there could be chances that it may not be an alphabet, it may be something different also. Like if I enter a digit 1, then what may happen? It is going to end
It
up
will show consonant.
consonant. Is it? Then how can we handle those scenarios here? In the switch cases, if I want to handle, then I need to write if it is a digit, I need to write 10 different cases for digits, right? 10 different cases for digits I need to write. Okay, like this. I can say something like this. It's a case, the digit I need to have. So digit, if I write 1, will it work? If I write the label value as 1, will that work?
No, sir.
Why?
No, sir.
Why? What is
Type
the problem?
statement.
It is a character, sir.
Let's say very simple. Let me make it as a digit. Okay. Yeah, some of you said that it will not work. If I write here 1, it will not work. What is the reason? You said it is a what? It is a number here. It is a digit. The value of this particular data type is the integer, but the alphabet, the expression here is an character. Then it is not going to match. Then how can we solve this one here? What will be the case label here? If I put a single quote here, single quotes, now will it work?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Why it will work? Because then I'm going to enter a character here, right? The 1 digit internally, it will be considered as a character itself, and that character value will match with the character value of this 1 here. Since I have placed within this a single quote, that means this is no more a integer value, it is a character value. Let us only check for this 1 here straight away. This is 19, right? GCC 19. What was that? Error line number 40. Okay, here, these are the things. Let me take out this. Okay, let us compile once again. No errors. 1, see, digit. When I entered 1, it showed me digit. Now the 1 which I entered here, this 1 is considered as a character value. Character means it is going to compare with its ASCII value. It is going to compare with its ASCII value, and that will get matched over here. It will get matched over here. Understanding?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What is the ASCII value of 1? Digit 1? Is that 48? No, I think it is 48, but
49.
49. No, I think 48. No, 48 to 56 or 57.
What do you want, sir?
49. 49. 49 is correct. Yes.
49.
Yes. Now look at here. I changed this case label value to 49 here. When I entered 1, it is taking digit. Now who can answer here? How it is finding the match? The alphabet expression is a character value. Okay. And here it is what? The 49. Then how this alphabet value and 49 are matching together? Who can answer?
So it is the ASCII value of that character.
Yes, it is the ASCII value of the character. Agree. Your answer is half. The remaining half answer you need to provide here. So there are two concepts here. One is internal typecasting. Implicit typecasting is happening, right? In one of the class, I have explained you each of the letters, whatever we type on the keyboard, those are not considered as the same characters, but instead of that, it will be converted into its respective ASCII values, and then there will be a processing will happen based upon those keys values, the keystrokes what we enter. Whenever I enter a character here, like a D and or a, so A actually, the A's value will be internally converted, implicitly converted into its ASCII value. Then there is the alphabet lowercase a. That alphabet lowercase a, again it will be converted into its ASCII value. Then both these ASCII values are same. Whenever I enter here a, both the ASCII values are same. So it is going to find the match correctly. But when it happened with earlier case like this, one I had entered and there was a 1 here. What has happened? This 1 is what here? It is a numeric data. But internally, this 1 gets converted into its corresponding ASCII value. What was that ASCII value? It is 49 here. Now, this 1, okay, and then this 49 is going to be compared, so there will be a mismatch in the data. Suppose if I change it to be a 49, then that 49 and 49 are going to be compared and there will be a correct match found. That's why we get the output to be digit here. Okay, this is something additional, not part of your syllabus. This is something additional. If you understand, well and good. If you don't understand, at this moment, it is okay. Okay. So is that followed, understood? In this particular class, the things what we have studied is that two things. First one is the break is not mandatory in every cases. Depending upon the program or the problem solution, we can write the break statement or we can exclude the break statement. That is the first learning. Second learning is that the switch and the if else or the else if nested if else can be interchangeably written. Any program, any problem requires a solution in the form of a switch can even be written using the if else or nested if else or else if ladder. It can be written in that way. Or if anything is there written using the else if, that can be written using the switch case also. Interchangeably, we can use the corresponding techniques depending upon our use. Okay, there was one question asked by another student. Can we use the if else in any of the cases? So I think what you mean by here is that, okay, something like this. Suppose in this particular case, I can write one if condition and then corresponding statements. Then here I can write a else statement and then corresponding statements. That is again a possible. We can have a break at the end. We can write any number of statements inside a case block. We can write any number of statements depending upon the use. We can write our own statements here. It is not that I use the switch cases here. I shouldn't use the if and if else and everything. We can use that. Suppose there can be a possibility that there is a if else and inside this if I can have one more switch also here. I can write my another switch here. There can be a switch here also. Depending upon the program requirement, the solution, we can write any number of switch cases or you can write any number of if else. Depending upon the usage, the program requirement, we can write. Okay, understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.